I don't think
Saka is just 5 goals.
Five, how
Saka
many?
has
Nine.
just 5.
Good
Five. That's
evening,
behind.
everyone.
Yeah, that is a disgraceful number. And on top of that, Arsenal is not scoring goals. And even when they score goals, it's coming from set plays. So they're not
Yes,
generating
bro.
power.
Yes.
They're not generating goals. They need a focal point. They need a
You can,
real number nine.
you,
What do you say, Falabi? Yeah.
yes, you can see they are number 5 on total goals scored, just 29 goals, behind Liverpool, Brentford, Tottenham, and Chelsea. Chelsea lead with 37 goals. And then if you go to the personal statistics, um, just a minute, if you go to personal statistics, you'd see that they are not doing too well as well. Look at the personal stats. Look at Mohamed
Less
Salah
than.
has Mo
Oh,
Salah
okay.
has 13 goals. Mo Salah has 13 goals. Haaland
Yeah.
has 13. Cole Palmer has 11. Arsenal are not even in the top 9 because Saka is their top scorer and he has just 5 goals. So they haven't been
No.
scoring from open play, it's just been set pieces and corner kicks. So this one area they need to improve, certainly. And it was the same thing against Everton too on Saturday. If you look at the statistics of the game, they had 76% of possession against Everton, 23%, 13
Can you
shots.
imagine?
So they need to really, they need a striker. That's just what I have to say. They need a striker, an ultimate.
That's just it. That's just it. Yeah, we need a
They
They
need a
striker.
need a
striker.
second. This is crazy. Yeah. What are
They
your
need a
thoughts,
striker.
Sai? Then we'll go to Warif. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the same thing me and my guys were talking about now. Because everybody, even like I have like two of my colleagues here that they are Arsenal fan. They are
Hmm.
saying the same thing that we need a top striker. We need somebody who is going to be in the box. Because I can't just imagine us drawing dropping points for Everton this weekend. Can you imagine
No.
the game that we totally control? Assuming you have a top striker, we should have won that game because they were just defending and just holding ball. And same
Yeah.
thing after just playing around from left to right, like as if there is nothing at stake. I don't know. Like you can see Harvard, it is crystal clear that Harvard can't take off, can't we can't with Harvard stopping our forward. I don't think there is any miracle we can do. It's just continue hoping. At
The only
least
problem.
for three seasons now, it's still the same thing. Maybe it's
Mhm.
because we are coming close. That's why Arteta is thinking that we don't need a striker because we took a second last season and second last 2 seasons or so.
Mhm.
So probably he's thinking that the teamwork, anybody can score. That we might eventually get it right. I don't think we are going to get it right.
But the
I,
problem,
I'm even tipping Chelsea to even go further than us this season.
Chelsea may even, you never know. I mean, they may come second.
They
There's
might, they
Liverpool
might
too.
even win. They might even win
Yeah.
because you never can tell. Liverpool can still drop points, and if they continue with the way they are playing, they might
Yeah,
eventually
they
win
may
it. They
even
have
win, to be honest with
they
you.
have
But
good substitutes.
let's stick to this. But the only problem now is that if you have a real striker, where are you going to put Havertz? And the problem with Arsenal also, they can't use they not only need a real striker, they need a better number 6. What do you think of Fabi? Because if they now bring a real number 9 in, they're going to have to move Odegaard into a more of a less of a. They're going to have to. What are they going to do with him? And they're still going to have problems in the midfield because the style of play which they use now, they use their midfielders almost as forwards. You
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree
If they
with
bring
you.
in a true 9, it might mess up the flow because they're using their midfielders as forwards who know how to pass the ball and do everything. So I'm not saying they shouldn't get a number 9, a true number 9, but if they bring it in, it'll mess up the flow for a little bit, and they'll have to change their tactics a little bit. What do you think, Falabi?
I agree with you. They would have to move Kai Havertz to somewhere here, maybe in the midfield, and remove Merino because Havertz is a very hardworking player. I wouldn't imagine they would drop him to the bench. And then
Yeah.
they will bring Odegaard more centrally. And then they'll put the number 9 somewhere in the middle of Saka and Martinelli. But I don't see
Okay.
them dropping Havertz. Merino would drop to the bench. Havertz would drop to the left side of the midfield because of his hard work.
And
And
their
he's just
defenders will have to make up for the lack of a true number 6. Yeah,
six,
we'll see.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean by true number 6, they don't really have a great CDM, do they?
CDM,
Who's their
yes.
CDM? Yeah.
Rice.
Do they even Rice? You're
Declan
exactly
Rice.
right.
Partey,
He's okay.
Declan Rice,
Partey
He's
yeah.
and
okay, but
Rice.
he's not. Yeah, he's okay. He's okay.
Rice,
He's okay.
Rice
Yeah.
and Partey too
Yeah.
can
Rice and
play
Partey.
that CDM.
But I don't know
Yeah,
what
they're
happened. They
okay.
didn't use Partey in this game.
Yeah.
Arteta is not just a sick coach.
Yeah,
He does not know what he's doing.
he
You
needs
don't
to
know.
change something. And
Even
also,
my guys they are saying that we should sack him if we don't collect league this season, you know, and no significant cup, we should sack him. I
no,
swear to
but the
God.
problem is that if you sack him, you won't.
Who is going to
Arteta is the number one
replace
problem.
him?
Liverpool
If
with
you
new
sack him,
coach
who's
and
going to
Chelsea with new
replace him?
coach. One of them now
Their
will
coach
take the
is all
league.
over.
Their coach is all over now.
Chelsea got a new coach, got an assistant coach or a coach from a lesser team. The problem with Arsenal is number one, Arteta. His tactics is completely wrong. You have Partey that is not injured. Why did you put Partey on the bench? And also, why would you allow Kai Havertz to play 90 minutes when Kai Havertz is not skillful, he's not a bully? If the ball is not on the run, he can't do anything. And again, Odegaard is not fully fit. And also, we need backup for Saka. We need backup for Odegaard. We need backup we need a proper number 9, a big number 9. Look at Wood in Nottingham Forest. We need somebody like that can bully defenders, or somebody like Osimhen that defenders are afraid of. And also, where I'll blame the Arsenal players is that if you watch that match against Everton, the first 10 minutes, Arsenal, they were just romancing the ball, taking their time. I think they're winning 4-0, short passes.
They keep doing that kind of game. They play flamboyant
play
football.
short passes. You just play. I think there's nothing at stake. I think we are trained. With that, you can't win league or win any important.
You know what? They try to play like Brazil in the 70s, but you don't have any.
Oh,
you're dancing around the pitch.
Even they said it that Arsenal pass is too slow. Arsenal does not play direct football. If you watch Chelsea, whenever
they play like I said, they play like people play in the 1970s.
They go for their attack. They move. Yeah. Yes. But Arsenal, they'll just be making passes without any progress, making passes without any progress. But if you watch Chelsea's game, they have the hunger to win a match. Once they get the ball, they move forward. They get the ball, they move forward. But Arsenal, they will just be passing. Next thing, they'll play back. They'll give a back pass. Nonchalant attitude. So, number one, I'll blame Mikel Arteta because he's the number one man in the team. He's in control of the team. If the players are not doing well, he has to ginger them and sign players.
The problem is that they can't sack him because it'll take 6 years before they win again. They just have to try and win now. Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah.
When I was watching that match, I started remembering Kunle Williams. What he said that was that dropping point. I was so angry that day. It was even yesterday that I got myself when Man U. I never believed Man U would have won that game. It's because the Man U players. Okay, look at the second goal that Ahmad scored. If it was an Arsenal player, he would have given up on that ball. Arsenal player would have given up on the ball. I don't know what they're afraid of.
They're not a physical team. They don't have that mentality.
Yes.
And I think it's partly because of Arteta. Arteta is a passive person himself. And that's the way the team... And he doesn't like anybody on the team who's going to be too outspoken, confront him. Arteta would never coach... Arteta can never coach Vinicius. He can never coach somebody like Vinicius who will, like Vinicius sometimes...
Vinicius will confront him. They will confront Arteta.
He's not... I don't think Arteta likes confrontation at all. And that's why he has a team of...
Like loyalists.
There's nobody on that team who's aggressive. Nobody.
Yeah, it's true. We need a serious backup for Saka because Saka is not aggressive.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Said?
Yeah, like from what you just said, there is no aggressive player there that can challenge his authority. They are all loyalists.
And also, that means they're not aggressive on the field either. Because it goes hand in hand.
How would you just have players that they are just very, very remote kind of players that you can predict what they can play and their performance and all that stuff.
Like Saka. Even Odegaard is predictable.
Yeah, at this moment, Odegaard is very, very predictable.
He has a lot of moves. Yeah.
And our next match is against our next game is against Crystal Palace, and Crystal Palace is a physical side. So I'll not be surprised if Arsenal should lose that game. And before then, on Wednesday, we have Carabao Cup against the same Crystal Palace. Then on Saturday again, we have a game against Crystal Palace. So that's going to be a massive game.
The Champions League next week. No, Champions League is not until after December.
It's in January.
They're taking a break. January. Yeah. Thank God. God saved them.
but I think I need to go into the market in January to get a striker, even if he's on loan, because Kai Havertz cannot give us a trophy. And you need players that are full. Arsenal players do not have many dribblers like Wilshere and what's it called, Fabregas that can give those deadly passes. You don't have those kind of people. Rosiski, we don't have players
No,
like
they
that
don't make
anymore.
through pass. They don't do through. They don't pass the ball down the horizontally, vertically. They don't
Yeah.
do that. They just go around in circles. They're not like De Bruyne. De Bruyne will put a pass through. Cruz will put a pass through. Those guys can put passes through that are accurate. These guys just pass the ball. They just pass in rhythm together. You know.
And
They don't
another
have.
disadvantage
And
about Arsenal again is that
Yeah.
Arteta is so rigid. He plays the same pattern, the same players week in, week out. So it's very easy for an opponent to master their tactics. But when you bring in
Yeah.
new players, you have to look at Ahmad. Ahmad, I think he came from the feeder team and he's doing well. Look at Mino. They are playing big games. Give these guys a chance.
Mhm.
They are footballers. You cannot be using the same players week in, week out. What about if they are injured? So are you telling me that Arsenal will not play again? That's wrong.
Yeah, those
exactly.
guys will suffer.
By now, that Nwaneri guy should be playing well. He's not playing them,
Mhm.
just like as you said about Ahmad or
Mhm.
something. We don't have sub. That is why this season I'm tipping Chelsea to even go further in
Yeah, Chelsea may
in
win. They may
competing
win. You guys are right.
for Premiership
Chelsea
trophy.
has more
Because
depth than Liverpool.
they have reserves. They have enough reserves for every position. Nkunku is not playing because Jackson is playing normally. They still have Sancho on
And
the
they
bench. They still
and they are
have
winning matches.
several good players on the bench. So that's that.
And
But
this
who
guy
do
from
we have
Atletico
apart
Madrid
from
that
Sterling?
they just signed, Felix. Sterling is a waste pipe now. He's
Yeah,
gone.
Sterling is still on the bench. Yes,
Sterling.
you can see
Who
that
runs like this?
we only
Who
have
runs like
we
this?
only have Havertz.
Sterling, who runs like this?
Ah man, Arsenal.
Let me stop.
Arsenal legends will be angry with Mikel Arteta. Those guys that played unbeaten runs, 49 unbeaten.
No,
They'll be
I'm
badly
surprised.
angry with.
To be honest with you, and Liverpool should be careful because if Liverpool has any injuries or if Salah gets injured, Chelsea's going to win this thing, man. So
Yeah,
like you said,
yeah.
and Chelsea built their team up, and they have so much depth, and then they brought in a new coach, so everything is looking good for them.
They have the belief.
Yeah, they have to believe. Yeah, and they're a tough team because this guy is the leader, man. He's not even a what's his name? Palmer is not really a striker. And look at he's scoring 11 goals already and getting assists. He's the best player in England right now. And also, I think now we see that they made Manchester City made a big mistake getting rid of Palmer. What do you think of Falabi?
I agree with you. It's obvious now. If you look at the average age of the Manchester City team, they're all getting close to 30. They can't run again. They can't press again. The team looks mentally and physically tired. So, and the young players that they were supposed to have held on to, they allowed them to go. And another thing I wanted to say about Arsenal is that Arsenal need a striker just to make the opponent think about something else. Arsenal plays in a certain
he doesn't have to score.
Yes,
he doesn't have to be a decoy.
Hold up the ball and allow players like Martinelli and Saka to run into space. Arsenal plays in the same way all the time. They make their playing very one-dimensional and predictable. But if they have
football.
Yes, if they have a point man, there's a different way to play. You can play a long ball to the point man and get the wingers in spaces. You know, Arsenal are too predictable. You know the same starting 11. You know the same way they're going to play. So bringing in a number 9 would change the dynamic of the way they play, and it will make them less predictable, I feel.
Maybe Arsene Wenger is still behind the scenes pulling buttons, saying, because I know he doesn't want to spend money. But Arsene Wenger, he's not still connected to the team anymore, is he now?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So that's a good one. So any thoughts, Saeed? Yeah.
I'm just hoping, as Mr. Wari said, I'm just hoping that this January Arteta will go for a striker, because let me not lie to you, I intend to buy this year Arsenal jersey by decide. I want to buy for my wife too. I was hoping that we will get a striker like Osimhen. As soon as we get Osimhen, I will buy the jersey. I swear to God, I was, but immediately we didn't get. You know, if you remember that from the beginning of the season, I have been talking about it that without us buying that striker, we won't go far. If you remember, So
they brought a wing back from Italy. It's
that's
what they spent. Yeah, spent all their money on that guy. Come on, man.
And he's injury prone. I don't know what's wrong with him.
I would have spent the 150 million they spent on Declan Rice. I would have spent it on
for solid striker.
I would have spent it
on solid striker now. Why? It's because of English press. Is the Declan Rice? Is it 150 million naira? I'll be 150 million pounds.
Because he's English now. It's because it's
Yes,
English.
Same thing,
Community boy.
same thing with Grealish. They like them
Exactly.
guys so
Yes,
much.
Grealish.
100 million pounds.
Now Grealish now is now a substitute in Man
And
City.
where is Foden?
All the English boys with hyping.
English player.
Foden is
You
not
remember,
doing
you
well.
remember last year everybody was saying, first of all, they said Bellingham is the Ballon d'Or. Then after Bellingham, they said Foden. Remember, because Foden had to be
Yeah.
Golden Boot.
Yeah.
They said
English
Foden.
players, English players and hyping.
Yes,
Foden.
English players
man.
and hype
English
their
players.
players. To
I
help
feel like
English,
I feel like even we fell for the trap. Remember when we did some videos and we
Of
said
course.
Foden is the next one.
English players, they're like that. Look at Rashford as well. English players, they're not good.
Yeah.
They make them look as if they're world
I
class.
hope Arsenal.
But they're
I hope
average.
Arsenal will not go
Saka.
and sign Rashford.
Even Saka.
I hope
Amen.
Arsenal will not go and
And
sign
it's
Rashford.
true. Because it's something that Ateta can do. Ateta can go and say you want to
Go
buy
and buy
Rashford
Deadwood.
now. Yes,
Because I've
now.
started seeing rumors all over.
Let me tell you, he should buy what's his name, Lukman, and put him on the left.
Yeah.
See, if Arteta wants to buy cheap players, he should go to Bournemouth. Bournemouth, they have aggressive players there. I'm telling you. Even Ipswich, they only need just to mix up with some experienced players. Those guys, they are good, but they're in the wrong environment.
Yes, they're very physical. Arsenal needs a bit of
Bournemouth,
physicality.
Ipswich.
There's some physicality.
They
Yes,
need a
that's
bit
what we
of
need in Arsenal.
physicality.
Okay. All right. So this is a good show. So we're about to round off. Let's go around the circle. We'll start with Saeed. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, like I was saying, I'm hoping that the board will talk to Ateta to buy a top striker, because that's what we need. We are already controlling the game. Most of the games we are playing, we control the match, but it's just for finishing we don't have. If Saka cannot score, we will have to now hope on Harvard. And okay, God forbid now Harvard get an injury now. How are we going to score? Imagine Arsenal playing without Harvard at this moment.
No.
Who is going to score for us?
And also, even if those guys don't get injured, because there's not a lot of substitutes and depth, by the time the season is over, even if they're not injured, they're as good as injured because they're not effective because they're tired.
Yeah, you definitely. Now they are playing like, how many cups are we playing now? FA Cup,
right now.
Champions League, Premiership. Yes, now. So
it's
they'll
too much.
definitely wear out.
They're gonna fall out of the Champions League if they're not careful. Last thoughts, Warif. Yeah.
I know football is business in Europe, but the owners or the shareholders, they should think about the fans. Get us a big
they have to do better
goalie striker. Get us a backup for Saka and also a backup for Odegaard. And Arsenal players, they should have the mindset of winning. Stop playing short passes, spending time on the ball as if they are winning 5-0. They take too much time on the ball.
That's why
they
held about 76% of the game, and they still drew.
That's rubbish. I don't give me short possession and let me have my 3 points.
Yeah. We take us out. Also, a very brilliant show. So our next show will probably be this on Friday for football. We'll do Niger United, where we focus on the Nigerian players like Osimhen, who's still doing well.
I hope Ademola Lookman wins the African Football of the Year because it's ongoing right now. I hope they don't rob him.
I think he should win it.
Yeah, talking of Hakimi.
I don't think he's going to win. I think it's this guy that they said is going to win.
Hakimi.
No, this Hakimi player, Mo Salah or something. That's what I'm getting.
No, Mo Salah is not among.
Mo Salah is there.
Mo Salah is not among.
Well,
that's politics. But everybody.
Yeah, but to me, it's clear that Lookman is the best. Lookman was the best player of the year.
Yeah,
that's clear. It's not even close. All right. So, any last thoughts, Afolabi, before we head out?
Yeah, I'm joining Warif to say that Arsenal needs a striker. They need a very good backup for Saka and Odegaard. Those guys play so many games, especially Saka. Saka is a little bit more durable than Odegaard, so he hardly ever gets injured. But they need someone to allow him rest. He plays too many games. Look at the number of games he played for England at the Euros, and then he continued for Arsenal into the season. The guy looks tired.
Okay. All right, so let's head out. Thank you, guys. This is Global Sports Football, and we've had a good show today. So stay tuned, and we'll be back on Friday. Please like, share, and subscribe. Good night, guys. Okay.